Russian troops are now approaching the Ukrainian capital, and as that happens, a night of street fighting and explosions lit up the sky, sending Kyiv residents running, looking for shelter. Now, President Zelensky sent out a message overnight to his people and to the world saying, "We are here and we will win." ABC News senior investigative reporter Aaron Katursky is live in Lviv, to the west of the capital city, with more on what's happening on the ground there. Aaron, after a night of heavy fighting across the country, we saw on the map there all the places where we've seen explosions. What are you seeing on the ground, and what are you hearing in Lviv now?
Yeah, it's so interesting to hear the general talk about the successes of the Ukrainian military and holding back the Russians. You hear on the Russian side of things that they were not slowed down by any Ukrainian defense, but because President Putin purposely paused the offensive to try and give diplomacy a chance. But the Russians have set the conditions for diplomacy, and it sounds like near total capitulation. The Ukrainians aren't willing to do that. And here in Lviv, even to the west of where things have been really heating up, the mayor has called for 24-hour civilian patrols. He told citizens here, grab a weapon, and if you don't have one, make Molotov cocktails. And indeed, we visited a suburb just outside of Lviv along one of the main routes into the city center. There were a group of guys in a ditch filling old beer bottles with gasoline and stuffing rags into them, and doing a pretty professional job at it. They had also stacked sandbags and tires, determined to protect their neighborhood should it become necessary from any Russian advance.
And Aaron, it's so hard to piece the story together when you're getting such different versions depending on which leader you're asking. So what kind of a chance do you think Ukraine stands against Russian forces if they do come and try to take the capital, as it seems they're going to try?
Well, they're going to try, we hear, from as many as 10 different entry points, and that could come in all simultaneously. And they're doing that as they're also fighting in Kharkiv, the second largest city, to the east, and in Odessa to the south. And so the Russians have been advancing on these three cities, though Kyiv seems to be their most important objective, given that it's the capital where Zelensky is, and their efforts to decapitate the government. I don't think anyone's under any illusions about the combat superiority of the Russian military. And from what we understand, only a fraction of it has actually been unleashed across the border so far. But the Ukrainians are determined. The United States is sending additional military aid, and some of that can be used for some pretty powerful weaponry. They're trying to figure out how to get it into the country now. And all the Ukrainians have to do is hang on just a little bit longer for that. Zelensky's doing his best to rally the troops, and he's telling every man of fighting age in this country they cannot leave. They must pick up arms in defense.
And Russia has claimed from the very beginning, Aaron, to only be aiming at military targets. But we've seen bridges, schools, and residential neighborhoods hit by strikes. So how much danger are Ukrainian civilians in right now?
The Russians officially, Diane, say they are only aiming at strategic military-type targets. And that's largely been true, but these missiles are not always accurate. And we saw an incredible piece of video of an errant missile striking a high-rise residential building near one of the main airports in Kyiv. We're not sure whether that was an intended target or whether it was meant for the airport, but a chunk of the building had been taken out. And while civilians may not be, if you take the Russians at their word, the intended targets, nearly 200 or so have died, including several children, and, according to the Ukrainian Health Ministry, and more than 1,000 have been wounded. So this has come at exceptional cost in these early days of battle.
So, Aaron, there in Lviv, west of Kyiv, what are you looking out for in the next few hours and overnight?
You know, there is a curfew in this city. It's quiet here. We've seen lines outside banks and shops as people who are staying stock up on essentials. This is one of the places which has been relatively safe ground, where people from other parts of Ukraine have come, taken in by families as people have room. It's also a stop along the way to the Polish border as this kind of mass migration of displaced Ukrainians is underway. At least 50,000 have crossed international borders so far, and the estimate is more than 100,000 are on the move, fleeing the fighting.
All right, Aaron Katersky for us in Lviv, Ukraine. Aaron, stay safe. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.